This is how I'm starting my day today at the junkyard, looking for a 2JZ GE fan setup. Probably looking for a GS 300. See what I can find, and hopefully go home and get started on the car. So I found this found this early 90s Corolla. Come to find out, stick shift, and I took the clutch pedal out of it, so I'll see if that fits. Save me some money. It's pretty easy to take out. Somebody already had half the dash out, so take that, keep looking. Just found this Celica. This one's 5-speed too, so I'm gonna check out the clutch setup on this one, see if it looks any better. But look what's next to it. Fucking IS 300. Two JZ, no shit. I still have the clutch pedal off that Camry, and I was gonna take the one off this Celica, but like I said, the mount is different. But what I did take off of it was this clutch depression sensor. So when you start to press it in, it depresses this button, and then when it's fully pressed, it presses this button. So you'll be able to use that for launch control or two-step or some other sensor. So just piecing together whatever I can at the junkyard before I leave out of here. Alright, I know it's not a go fast part, but I found this lip I've been trying to find for a while. It's a Volvo 740 940 front lip, but I cannot get it off to save my life. So I'm gonna have to go home. I'm just gonna get a cutting wheel, cut the very bottom of the bumper so the lip comes off, and I'll take it home and take it off like that. But maybe I'll do it later today or tomorrow, but definitely gotta get that. Alright, so not the most successful junkyard trip I've had, but I got a clutch pedal. Looks like it should work. I'm gonna go home, measure the throttle cable that I need, come back for that, and come back for the Volvo lip either today or tomorrow. But home, see if this pedal fits. Got back home, tried up the clutch pedal, and it's just not gonna work. There's not enough travel in the pedal. Just for it to line up, it's already at the bottom of the stroke of the pedal. So it looks like I might just have to order up a pedal. See if I put that in there. It doesn't let me push it in. Hitting this block down here. Whatever, it's 20 bucks. Swing and a miss. What I can do though, now that I'm home, is I'm going to charge the Sawzall, charge the circular saw, so I can take those. I can get the lip off that Volvo, and then the one other thing I got to do is I got to measure this throttle cable. See where we're at. Measure this throttle cable because I need one that's just a few inches shorter, so I can jump around the junkyard and see which one will fit. Right, update from the junkyard. I went back, had to take the reciprocating saw to get the Volvo lip off of that damn thing, because all of these bolts up here are rusted out and there was no way I could get them off, so I ended up cutting the bottom half of the bumper to get the whole lip. Ching. So that's pretty cool. And as you can see, I got the car jacked up. Today's starting project, get the transmission underneath and see where I gotta bang. But before I can get that in, I gotta come in here and take apart this center console so I can make sure the shifter is centered and where I like it. So I gotta figure out how to take this out and get going from there. Finally got the center console out. Took me a little bit to figure out all the little screws to take out in what order, but got the automatic shifter out. So I got this hole that's perfect to be filled in with what other than a R154 shifter. So now I'm gonna crawl under the car, get the get the tranny underneath, get it to line up right underneath, start to lift it up, and whenever it starts hitting, just gonna start banging it with the sledgehammer. Hopefully it'll be fun. If not, whatever. I'll make it fun, enjoy it. So got that out, so let's get under the car and start fitting that in. Here in the garage, and I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the one thing I've been dreading the most about working on the car is beating out the tranny tunnel to fit this R154. There isn't much info online about where I'm supposed to beat in, how much, specific spots. So I'm just gonna have to get under there, start lifting up the tranny, see where it hits, and start banging out from there. So just gotta get under the car and get going for it. I'm not sure how hard I can explain how difficult this is, doing it one person under the car. So I have the motor in the car. That's sitting in there, we can't see it from right here. And I got the tranny under the car. I got the car on ramps and jack stands. So what I'm trying to do is, I got the transmission on these blocks of wood. So I'm gonna slide the jack under the transmission, jack the transmission up, keep going up until it starts banging or starts hitting on the transmission tunnel. I'll feel around, see where it is, start banging it out, and hopefully each time I jack it up, it'll get closer to being able to bolt in the transmission mount. So that's the goal for right now. Alright, step one accomplished. Got the transmission balanced on the jack stand. Got this block of wood, and it's just balancing on it right now. So like I said, I'm gonna jack it up, see where it's hitting, and start banging from there. This is the first step. So issue number one that I found out while I was under the car. This one here on the right is a stock one that was on my R154. I'm not sure what car it came out of. And this is the automatic transmission mount that came in the Cressida. I just thought they had different mounting points on here as far as relationship to the center line. But come to find out that the one that was on the R154 is actually narrower. So I'm just gonna swap them out, and that should fix that problem real quick. Okay, got our first contact point in the transmission. I got it lined up centered with the new transmission mount. Got the auto tranny mount. It's really hard to film under here, but you see that bolt up top? That's the first thing that's hitting right now. It's the first and only thing. Right here on the left side, I've got room all the way through, and this is the first thing that's hitting right here on the right. That bolt right up there. So let me lower the transmission and do some beating. Trying to give a little clearer view about where I marked off. So we got the shifter hole right here. Comes down. You see that little black line? So from there up, it's kind of a little square. It's hard to see. So that's on the passenger side on left-hand drive car. And then on the driver's side, I've got it marked further. This is really hard to film. So you get the shifter hole and you go towards the engine. Right up here, there's a little spot with a black Sharpie. So let me bang that. First round of banging done, and my shoulders hurt. So I have this little section marked off if you want to try to reference it where it is from the shifter hole. So there's the engine, and if you can look at the ribs, you can kind of get an idea of where it is. So got that side, and this, and the driver's side wasn't hitting yet, but just as a precaution I started banging over here. It looked like that was going to be the next spot. So if you want to look at relationship to the shifter hole, you can see the ribs, and then right there. So let's lift the transmission up and see what we got. Alright, so first impression of being under the car and banging the tunnel, it's not that bad. You just put it up, see where it's hitting, mark it, smash it with a hammer, put it back up, and then keep going back and forth. But you want to make sure you bang out a lot the first time so you're not missing it by just a little bit. And you'll get it up, and you'll find the next point that needs to be, excuse my assistant, then we have to find the next part that needs to be banged in and go from there. So it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I can officially say transmission is home. Finally, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yeah, it sucked laying under the car, having to hammer it out, put the transmission up and down a few times, figure it out, but you know, it's all worth it. And you're going to know, or I know it's officially home. Let me try to get under here so I can get it. When your bolt holes finally line up, you can start bolting in that transmission mount. Then you know it's officially in the right spot. I have the excessive motor mounts on my engine, so my engine moves forward and back like 3 inches. So I have the engine move forward right now, so the transmission was free to move around. So the transmission is good. Get the engine in. Now I need to start finishing up this fuel system. Start buttoning up the motor, find a standalone, and get going from there. And I need to have a drive shaft made, so I need to figure out what I'm going to do for that. So that's probably going to be tonight's homework online. Find the drive shaft, find out what material, what yokes I want to use, 1310, 1350, figure it out, and go from there. I guess you could say I have a 5-speed Cressida now. Sort of, almost. So I've got the transmission mount bolted in, so this is where the transmission's going to sit. And everything looked really good up until I put this trim piece in. Let me take it out real quick. So, got a shifter. All gears, reverse, perfect. Except, now I put this trim piece back in. Let me see. And here's my issue. First gear. Can't get it. I mean, I could drive around in second and third and, I don't know, drive backwards through every other parking lot. So I can either cut this up over here or look for the next sized shifter extension housing, which I have no idea how easy or hard they are to find. So something else I'll add to my research to do tonight. But worst comes to worst, I'll just run without this trim piece for now, or at the beginning, and try to find that extended housing. So you can see you could probably use another, I don't know, few inches. So I'm sure that's the next size up. But moving along, and that's pretty much it for tonight. It's late. I know it's about 1 in the morning. I guess I'll call it a night for now.
YouTube, comment, like this video if you like it. Watch some more if you don't like it. Terrible. Doing horrible.